The galaxy was full of voices, but one voice was older than all others. It was the voice of the ancients, whispered in myths, carved in ruins, and feared by empires that never knew the truth. Every child across alien worlds grew up hearing stories about a race that came before them, a race so powerful that they bent the stars to their will. But the stories were only tales. Or so everyone believed. Until one day, something changed. In the cold dark of the Perseus Arm, a small alien exploration ship drifted near a dead system. The system had no living planets, no trade routes, no reason for anyone to visit. And yet, the scanners found something. Beneath the dust of a frozen world lay structures not made by nature, pillars of metal, a circle of stone fused with alloys unknown. Strange marks across the ruins glowed faintly, as if waiting for someone to notice. The alien crew landed, their leader trembling as he touched the marks. They were not in any known language, not Cathari, not Varn, not Zorath. The symbols were simple lines, curves, circles, but when the computer tried to analyze them, the translation came with a shocking word: human. The crew froze. Humans, the weak species, the newcomers who could barely defend their own small blue world? Impossible. These marks could not belong to them. Yet the genetic scanner detected something else, traces of DNA woven into the metal itself. The results were undeniable. The markers were human. Fear spread through the crew like fire. They sent the data to their empire, and soon the whispers began to move faster than light. From council chambers to war fleets, from smugglers to kings, the question became impossible to silence. Could the humans be the ancients? For centuries, the galaxy had dismissed humanity as fragile and primitive. Humans lacked claws, fangs, or scales. They could not breathe toxic air nor survive in burning suns. They were soft, breakable, too weak for war. But if they were the ones who had once ruled the stars, if they were the ones who had built the ruins across the galaxy, then everything the empires believed was a lie. On Earth, humanity continued its quiet life. People went to work, children played, soldiers trained, scientists dreamed. They did not know the storm building in the wider galaxy. They did not know that their very existence had just shaken every empire. But some humans, some remembered. In secret government archives, old signals had been hidden. Strange pulses of light from dead systems. Ancient warnings passed down through coded messages. Generations of scholars had studied them, but most called them myths. Until now. The match with the alien discovery was perfect. The patterns carved into the ruins were the same as those hidden in human records. Human leaders gathered in silence. They realized the truth. These ruins had been built by their ancestors. Humanity was not a young race. Humanity was the first. The ancients, forgotten by time, erased by wars, and left only as shadows in myth. But now the galaxy was waking to that truth. While alien empires argued, while councils panicked, humanity did not speak. They remained silent, watching, waiting, preparing. But silence was not enough to calm the galaxy. The Zorath Dominion sent warships to orbit Earth, circling like predators. The Cathari Empire demanded human leaders explain the ruins. The Varn Syndicate whispered of extermination before the truth spread further. Fear made them restless, and restless fear led to violence. In backrooms and hidden halls, alien leaders spoke words they dared not put into law. If the humans are the ancients, they must never awaken. But the humans had already begun to feel the echo. In dreams, in visions, in strange awakenings of old technology, humanity began to stir. Deep under Earth's oceans, machines long dormant began to hum again. Old satellites that had drifted powerless for centuries suddenly blinked to life. Across colonies, strange signals whispered in the night. The echo of the ancients was not just in the ruins. It was inside every human being. No one could stop it now. The galaxy was right to be afraid, because the humans were remembering. And once they remembered who they were, nothing could stand in their way. And so the forgotten echo began. Asterisk. The galaxy did not sleep after the discovery. Councils met in secret, fleets moved without orders, spies whispered in every shadow. Every empire feared the same truth, that the humans, the weak ones, the overlooked species, might be the ancient power they had been taught to fear since childhood. But humans said nothing. Their silence made the fear worse. In the far reaches of space, something strange began to happen. Old stars flickered unnaturally, their light pulsing in patterns. Distant moons trembled as buried machines, long thought to be dead rock, stirred, awake. Whole systems began to hum with a deep vibration, like the heartbeat of something enormous. Alien scientists rushed to study the phenomenon. Their readings made no sense. The machines reacted only when humans were nearby. No other species could trigger them. A human presence alone was enough to wake the sleeping giants. One small incident changed everything. On a mining world owned by the Cathari, a human worker collapsed during a shift. His blood fell onto the stone floor of the cavern. The ground shook. The walls split open. Behind them was not stone, but a hidden gate, glowing with power. The miners fled in terror, but the human stood still, staring at symbols written in fire across the gate. He could not read them, but somehow he understood. The message was simple. Awaken. Within days, more gates began to open across forgotten systems. Some revealed massive starships buried under planets. Others revealed weapons older than any known empire. Alien races panicked, demanding to know why these machines existed, why they had been hidden. But the humans remained silent. That silence was worse than war. The Varn Syndicate began preparing fleets, ready to strike Earth before the humans could fully awaken. The Zorath Dominion debated extermination, though some whispered it might already be too late. Others, like the smaller fringe races, began to quietly send envoys to Earth, desperate to ally with the humans before the storm came. But humanity was not idle. On Earth, scientists worked in secret bunkers. They discovered that the ancient machines were responding to more than human blood. They responded to human thought. A child in Brazil dreamed of stars, and a satellite that had been silent for 600 years suddenly broadcast the same star map. A soldier in Africa touched a piece of fallen debris, and the armor reshaped itself to his body. A pilot on Mars entered a forgotten hangar, and the engines of a buried ship roared alive only for him. The connection was undeniable. Humanity was the key. Humanity was the trigger. Humanity was the one race that could command the ancient power. The galaxy trembled. In the grand chamber of the Zorath Alliance, leaders shouted at each other. Some demanded war, others demanded negotiation. But one warning silenced the room. An old alien elder, her voice breaking, whispered, "If they are the forgotten ancients, then they do not need to conquer us. They only need to remember who they are." And slowly, the galaxy began to realize what the humans themselves were only beginning to accept. This was not the rise of a new power. It was the return of an old one. On Earth, deep below the oceans, something massive stirred. A ship larger than any seen before began to wake, its lights flickering through the black water. It had been waiting for thousands of years, hidden in silence. And now the silence was ending. The silent awakening had begun. The galaxy could not wait any longer. Alien empires had watched the signals, seen the gates open, and heard the machines roar back to life. Each passing day proved that humanity was not a weak race of newcomers, but the forgotten ancients, returning from silence. Fear became desperation, and desperation always led to war. The Zorath Dominion was the first to act. Their fleets stretched across 3 sectors, their warships black as night, bristling with weapons that had crushed 100 rebellions. The Dominion leader declared before the galaxy, "Humanity must be tested. If they are truly the ancients, let them prove it, or be destroyed." Hundreds of Zorath warships descended toward Earth. The world panicked. Cities trembled as the sky filled with dark shadows of alien carriers. News spread faster than light. Earth was under siege. Leaders prepared speeches of surrender. Armies scrambled in fear. Civilians prayed. Humanity had faced war before, but never like this. Against the Dominion, no world had survived. But then something happened that no one expected. The ocean rose. From the depths, water split apart as a shape larger than mountains emerged. Towers of steel gleamed, ancient and alive. A ship unlike any in the galaxy lifted itself from the sea, water cascading from its sides. Its hull was carved with the same glowing marks found in the ruins. The language of the ancients. The ship spoke in thunder, a voice that echoed across every human mind. We are awake. The Zorath warships opened fire. Blinding beams of energy struck the ocean ship and vanished. Shields older than time itself flared, bending the attacks like wind against stone. Then, with a single pulse of light, the ancient ship answered. One shot, one beam. And an entire Zorath cruiser disintegrated into dust. The galaxy watched in horror. More Zorath ships attacked, but each volley was met with silence. Their weapons could not pierce the ancient defenses. Their missiles could not find a lock. Their fleets, once feared across star sectors, were powerless. Then the ocean ship unleashed its fury. Dozens of beams of light tore through the fleet. Zorath carriers split in half, their engines ripped apart. Fighters vanished in fire before they even reached striking distance. In less than an hour, a fleet that had once ruled entire empires was nothing but burning wreckage drifting above Earth. But it was not just victory. It was a message. Humanity had not even fought with numbers. Not an army, not a fleet, just one ship. One. And it had shattered a power that had ruled the galaxy for centuries. Across the stars, alien leaders trembled. They had mocked humans, called them weak, soft, fragile. But now they understood. Humanity had been holding back. Humanity had been waiting. And the waiting was over. On Earth. People stood in awe as the ancient ship hovered silently above the oceans. Its lights dimmed, its weapons silent, but its presence was enough to shake the stars. Soldiers who had prepared to die now stood with hope. Children who had feared the alien fleets now pointed to the sky with pride. For the first time, humanity felt something new. Not fear, not weakness, but power. The galaxy sent its fleets to test the humans, and humanity answered. The first confrontation was over. And the galaxy had lost. The battle above Earth was over, but it was only the beginning. The galaxy thought the ocean ship was a miracle, a single relic that somehow survived the ages. They believed if they destroyed it, the humans would fall back into weakness. But they were wrong. The awakening was spreading. On Mars, deep beneath the red deserts, ancient doors cracked open. Hidden hangars lit with blue fire as colossal starships rose from their tombs. Ships older than the Martian colonies themselves, yet their engines burned hotter than anything known in the galaxy. On Titan, miners stumbled upon a buried vault, sealed by ice for millions of years. Inside rested weapons so advanced that scanners could not even classify them. When human hands touched the devices, the weapons unfolded like flowers, shaping themselves into armor, blades, and cannons that felt alive. On forgotten colonies scattered. Across the stars, signals pulsed. Human descendants, long thought lost to history, answered. Their worlds, hidden for millennia, revealed fleets in orbit. These humans were not broken or weak. They had grown strong in silence, guarding the treasures of the ancients until the day of return. That day had come. Alien empires watched in horror. Every week brought new reports. Another ancient ship awakened, another colony revealed, another weapon found. And every time only humans could control them. Other species tried. The Cathari sent armies into an awakened ruin, but their soldiers were reduced to ash when they touched the controls. The Varn Syndicate hijacked a human ship, but when their pilots entered the command bridge, the ship refused to move. It remained dead, until a single human prisoner was brought aboard. The ship lit up instantly. The truth was undeniable. Humanity was the key. But the galaxy still tried to resist. The Zorath Dominion, humiliated after their crushing defeat at Earth, launched another fleet. This time they attacked a human colony near Proxima. They came with 3 times the ships they had sent before. They never returned. When the alien wreckage was found drifting, witnesses spoke of dozens of human ships rising from hidden caves, glowing like suns. They moved with impossible speed, their weapons tearing through cruisers like paper. The Dominion lost an entire armada. The galaxy trembled. In the council chambers of the great powers, fear turned into despair. They realized too late what had happened. Humanity had not just discovered ancient power. They had inherited it. Every human was a descendant of the first civilization. Every colony was a vault. Every ruin was a promise waiting to be fulfilled. But humanity was not reckless. They did not strike blindly. They chose carefully, sending messages to weaker races, offering them protection. The smaller worlds, long bullied by empires, began to rally behind Earth. For the first time in thousands of years, the balance of power shifted, not to an empire, not to a council, but to humanity. Still, not every human leader agreed on what to do. Some wanted peace, to rebuild the galaxy in harmony. Others wanted revenge, to burn the empires that had mocked and enslaved them. The debate raged within hidden human chambers, but outside, the galaxy only saw one thing: an unstoppable force, returning to its throne. And then, something happened that shook even the humans. On the edge of the galaxy, in a system no one had visited for millions of years, a massive construct began to awaken. Larger than a planet, it was not a ship, not a weapon, but something even greater. Alien spies reported that its core pulsed with the same human DNA signature. It was not just a relic, it was a reminder. Humanity had not only built ships and weapons, they had built things that could bend reality itself. And now, those things were waking. The awakening of power had begun in full. The galaxy had feared humanity. Now it would learn to bow. The galaxy had seen wars before. Empires had risen and fallen. Fleets had burned entire systems. But nothing was like this. Because this was not the rise of a new power. This was the return of the first. Across the stars, human fleets awakened one by one. Ships buried in oceans, frozen under glaciers, hidden in asteroids, all lit their engines as if answering a silent call. Each ship carried weapons no alien had ever seen, shields that ignored enemy fire, and drives that bent space as if it were cloth. The galaxy trembled as entire constellations flickered with the light of ancient human warships. Alien rulers begged their councils to act. Some wanted to strike fast, others to surrender. But deep down they knew the truth. They were already too late. The humans were no longer weak, no longer silent. They had remembered who they were. The ancients. The first test came in the Arcanes sector. 3 alien empires joined forces, gathering nearly 1,000 ships to block the path of the awakened human fleet. It was the largest armada assembled in living memory. They believed numbers would win. It was a mistake. When the human fleet arrived, the sky itself seemed to tear open. Their ships glowed brighter than suns, their weapons like storms made solid. Alien weapons struck, but they did nothing. Shields held like walls of eternity. Then the humans answered. One wave. The 1,000-ship armada was gone. Entire fleets erased in minutes. Planets shook from the echoes of the blasts. Survivors described the battle in one word only: apocalyptic. The galaxy understood at last. This was not war. This was judgment. But humanity did not strike without reason. They did not burn innocent worlds. They did not enslave the weak. Instead, they targeted the cruel, the tyrants, the empires that had ruled through fear. Worlds once crushed under alien boots now rose, standing behind humanity with pride. The oppressed saw their chance for freedom, and they took it. The galaxy had feared humanity's wrath. Instead, they found humanity's justice. Still, the message was clear. Never again would humans be underestimated. Never again would they be mocked as fragile. For every fleet they deployed, every construct they awakened, every weapon they unleashed proved the same truth. Humanity was not just part of the galaxy. Humanity was the galaxy's foundation. And then came the final awakening. The massive construct on the galaxy's edge fully lit, its core glowing like a newborn star. It was no simple weapon. It was a beacon, a command tower of the ancients. From it, signals spread across the stars, reaching every awakened ship, every human colony, every ruined. The fleets moved in perfect unity. Billions of humans, scattered across countless worlds, now beat as one heart, one will, one power. The galaxy trembled not because of destruction, but because of the realization. The ancients had returned. And they had always been human. The rulers of the great empires gathered one last time, not to debate, but to kneel. They begged for peace. They offered tribute. They swore loyalty. Humanity gave them only one answer. We warned you never to forget us. The stars themselves seemed to bow as the humans claimed their place once more. Not as conquerors, not as tyrants, but as the rightful heirs of creation. The galaxy would never be the same again. Because the forgotten ancients had awakened. And their name was humanity.